So, hello again everyone, and we sadly, due to server issues, had to restart our race one again. This malfunction slash glitch, whatever it is, that you sometimes cannot start from the installation lab into the race. I have attached the link to the part 1 that was 18 minutes qualifying here on this video, and now we will head into the race finally. So it was quite some work for our host, who is shakily here tonight, to sort the grid. You manually have to do that to sort out who was P1 to 15 drivers with us here today. And I hope that all our drivers will voluntarily obey to the fact that they have to start on the tire they qualified on, at least for the top 10. We had one driver of the top 10 starting on mediums, that was Tirash on P8. We see exactly the same weather as before, so cloudy, overcast and dry. And yeah, the session timer is ticking down to get the race strategy in. Some minor setup changes maybe. So, second installation lab for Fatih. We have lost one guy. Karobi was in P15 actually. He had already internet connection issues earlier, and now he seems that he's gone entirely. So sadly only 14 drivers in our race, but that means everyone who gets through the race will get points granted. That's the special rule of the Monday night racing in the Redline Racing community. And yeah, that's, you get at least 6 points, at least I say, even more, if you finish not in last position. And so that's a rather easy points, you would like to say. So in a normal race, if you finish as last, you get a point as 20th. If you're 19th, you get maybe 2. Today, if you finish last, you get already 6 just by finishing. And that could make some differences in the end for our overall standings. So let's have a look at the tires. Yes, Turam on P8 on mediums, the rest on softs. Optics. We need to have a look at that. I think that P2 optics did not qualify on mediums initially. So, well, we go into the race now. This needs to be sorted after the race, but well, I am totally neutral. I am not pro or con anyone, but I think this is just not fair. If this is right, I will have to look it up. But if optics did not qualify on softs, yeah, well, this is a little bit of cheating, but we will consider this after the race. Now I hope that everything will start as it is meant to be. Yes, the red lights on, 5 red lights, and in China We have a go. The Grand Prix of China is on. Good start for Fatih. He should be first in the snail. A little bit of a touch behind. I think Ninja Penguino is running wide, losing a lot of positions in the snail here. And a lot of drivers here going wheel to wheel, but in overall it was rather cleanly, no big issues. Front wing damage for Extremist. Front wing damage for Extremist behind some wheel to wheel. But I think except the issues for Extremist, and I suppose it was... No, it wasn't Ninja Penguino. Penguin is in third. Had to be Salsanpat then, who ran wide in turn 1. Let's have a look through the field. We see the front wing damage here, of course, of Extremist Hamilton. Should be fine. Yes, he is. Salsanpat looks like he is not damaged on the front wing, and attacking here in the front. Who was it? The Mercedes attacking. No attack from Super Steve. No attack yet. So early pit stop from Extremist, we saw it. We saw the end plate being cut off from his front wing, but he was the only one who had some issues, I think. Extremist stopped from softs to mediums. We'll hope for a safety car now, that he can catch up to the rest of the field. Fatih in first. He defended his prime spot from the start. Optics has lost already 2.5 seconds, but that's obvious with his slower tire. And then the Penguin is already close. And on this monstrously long straight, the DRS effect will be huge. No DRS yet, I think. No, we have DRS. And in the background, there's already some slipstream action going on. Super Steve against Jackie Lee. No attack yet. I say yet, but this will come soon. Here's the next DRS zone. And Penguino lost some ground, 1.5 seconds now behind Optics. He was in the DRS window, and what's going on here? They come close in the snail. You cannot go wheel to wheel there, Super Steve. And now he's wheel to wheel against Benny Boy. Jackie Lee was slow. Jackie Lee didn't see Super Steve coming on the inside, and therefore they touched, but no damage. I think just running a little bit through the dirt. There is, yes, no damage to his car, no damage to Benny Boy either. First penalty of the evening is handed to Jackie Lee. Yellow in sector 1 already vanished, no big issues there. Probably it was Fired who is in last. And here the guys are very close, and Jackie Lee wheel to wheel on the outside now against Ninja Penguino. No chance to overtake, but Penguin will not be DRS equipped now. This will be a huge disadvantage against Jackie Lee and Super Steel likewise. Ninja Penguino is able to open up the DRS, but I don't know why. Penguin, oh, the late lunge for Benny Boy, and Jackie Lee lost another position. Jackie Lee lost 2 positions at once. Wow, he was obviously very cautious on the brake, and therefore Benny and Super Steve slipped through. I was wondering why Penguino was able to open up the rear wing, because he is how much, 3.5 seconds away from optics, so he should not be allowed to activate the DRS. So fighting group here in the midfield, no one behind, but ahead is a lot of going on. Wheel to wheel from Shaky Lee again, Super C, a little bit of push maybe between those two guys. But Super C squashed off Shaky Lee, who was trying to get back at least one of those two positions that he lost. And Hamilton, have a look at that. Hamilton looks faster here in the turns of Sector 2. Shaky Lee almost lost his car there, needs to run wide. Shaky Lee is in troubles on his soft tires. The softs should rather be the faster one with more grip, especially here in these many turns. But Hamilton pushed ahead. No DRS now, I think, for Hamilton. Nope, but for Shaky Lee and for Thuram. Yeah, Thuram is a bit too far away. There's an overtake. Benny Boy against Penguino. Now finally, after the Penguin was struggling for a few laps, finally Benny Boy overtook him. Can the Penguin counter? Does not look like. He did not get a clean exit of the last turn, turn 16. And here in the snail, nope, no chance. Benny Boy can't stay ahead. Sotsampat is finished. The first DNF of the evening is Sotsampat, and that means whoever finishes last will get granted 7 points only for going through the race. Yeah, so these guys are close to each other, close enough to be able to open up the rear wing on the long straight. Everyone except Benny Boy, of course. So this will be our fighting group to watch here at the moment. The lead is rather easily and clear. Fatih just running away from everyone. Super Steve already faking it, showing himself in the rearview mirror of the Penguin, our gaming influencer. And Super Steve getting closer. Hamilton does so too. Behind, Turamba overtook Shaky Lee. We stay here. Ooh, late break from Super Steve. He does not get around the corner, and that saves Ninja Penguino for another lap. And Super Steve a bit earlier, break in there for Hamilton, touched him from behind, but I think no problem for him. And in Shaky Lee into the pits. No counter attack for him, and we stay with our battle group here. And now Turamba. Yeah, Turamba has been closing the gap and is now the 4th or 5th man in. Let's see who of those guys gets through the intense middle sector the cleanest and has a better or worse track position than in the end on the long straight. Now after 5 laps the softs should already start to be degrading. I mentioned it in the qualifying in case you listened. The softs are just too soft for this track, and I think that our soft runners will have to see a tire change very soon. What's going on here? Super Steve overtook Penguin in the long right-hander, and therefore Super Steve is DRS equipped. Penguino is not, and the Penguin loses another position here to Hamilton. Does he attack his teammate too? No, he does not. Hamilton stays ahead. Penguin is close. Penguin to the pits. Doesn't get around the corner. He might need a new nose even here. Benny Boy, Super Steve, all of them in the pits. So all of those soft runners, as I mentioned, The soft degrade very fast here. Super steep, anyway, fresh mediums. The penguin does so too. No knows, he survived it. So for the moment, let's stay with our leader Fatih and let's see if he does the same. If he will come to the pits at the end of this lap too, like the other soft runners did. And Fatih here in the hairpin, pit entry coming up. I think he should pit to not let the other guys have a long, yes, have the other drivers a long undercut. He has the advantage that he can react to what the others are doing. Fresh hearts for him. Ooh, 21 laps to go. Can these hearts hold those 21 laps? That is very long. That is very long. We will have to have an eye on him in the late stages of the race. If he can make it through or if he thinks he cannot and he'll run on fresh softs then late in the end for a short and quick late stint then. So what's going on? Grimo, we didn't have a lot of TV time for him yet. The 1G of the A-Team, the A-Team Alfa Romeo is set by 2 Gs. Blake Gary and Mark Goodman, 2 Gs in the A-Team. His teammate Blake Gary realized just 5 minutes before the event started that he has run out of his PSN. Yeah, and so he is the only one here tonight in the A-Team. Oh, he needed to run wide onto the grass. Tirash aggressively defending himself too late. But Grimo made it. Can he stay ahead? Can he stay ahead? He can for the moment. Yes, he does. Tirash now DRS equipped here on the start finish straight. Does he attack? Not yet, but all that brings in our reigning champion Fatih. Oh, have a look. Fatih already ahead of Tirash and already inside the gearbox of Grimo. If Fatih had a screwdriver, he could repair Grimo's gearbox. Does he attack him already here? He does. Yeah, Grimo didn't even defend. Grimo knows he's slower. He doesn't try and ruin his chances. So he just let him pass. And all of that made Hamilton and Turamba our leading duo. Hamilton the leader and Turamba in second. Turamba will then be DRS equipped now on the long straight. So DRS zone begins right here. And he is zooming into the Mercedes. Attack on the outside. Aggressive defending from Hamilton. This is a real duel. They are on the same tire strategy, so they have to battle it out on the track if they want to stay ahead of the other one. And both of them are in the championship hunt. So Turamba, our leader at the moment in the overall standings, and Lewis Hamilton is only in P3, just a handful of points behind him. So this is an important battle we see here. Meanwhile, Optics has Oh, Optics has stopped for fresh softs. Interesting. Our question mark starting grid cheater question mark. Interesting. I expected him to go through on a one-stop race, yellow to white. Optics then on his fresh softs is close to Grimo. He should be able to get closer and attack him eventually very soon. For the moment, for the next DIS zone we stay with this duel. Turamba lost a little bit on acceleration. Oh, and Optics already overtook Grimo in the second sector, so he made the most out of his faster tires already in the sector with the lot of turns. No chance for Turam to attack after his little slide on the turn exit. Next DIS zone right here. He seems a little bit too far away. He will get very close, but not able to attack. No chance. No chance. He's close, but he cannot get wheel to Hamilton. He's cautious. He knows he cannot ruin his front wing here. And all of that got Optics very close to Fatih again. So yeah, Optics on fresh softs, Fatih fresh hards. So actually the biggest gap you can have, if I can say so, between tire runtime and tire speed, and Optics will have a huge advantage over Fatih and will probably overtake, or at least attack him on the long straight that is right here coming up. DRS zone right here. The BWT is split, and does he late lunge forward? Ooh, he tries late bomb, late lunge, but he made it. Fatih knew that he was coming. Fatih left door open, as he already expected Optics, I suppose, and Fatih knows that he's on a different strategy, and wheel to wheel, Turamba against Hamilton. This is for the lead, and Turamba defended it. So this battle, as they battle it out so hard and cost each other time, all that goes into the favor of Fatih, who is within 5.5 seconds, I think. And Fatih already stopped while these two guys did not. Interesting how fast Turamba was able to sneak away from Hamilton. No chance for a counter attack. And Super Stee already overtook Jake Lee before the DRS zone, so he can easily run away now. We see a pit stop from Lewis Hamilton. Let's stay with him. What does he do? White probably. Yes, there he goes. Soft, medium to hard. Medium to hard. Let's have a look what Turamba now is doing. He needs to react. He needs to stop right here again after this lap. He cannot allow his opponent a undercut longer than just this one lap. So let's see what he will do. We will stay with him. There are a bunch of drivers in the DRS window, but let's stay with Turamba, the leader, and see if he pits right here and how far he will be away in the end then of his rival Hamilton. Ninja Penguino, who had such a good starting grid position, is ranked back to P9. Obviously his long run speed is not as good as his quali pace was. Yes, Turaba into the pits. Yeah, he very tidily did not pick up a penalty. Optics and Fatih already through. And do we have a safety car? Do we have a safety car? Pink Penguino is out. Where he is? Penguin is out. Where did he lose his car? I cannot see him anymore. I cannot see a wrecked Alpha Tauri. Is he in the pits? No, he isn't. Only Fires is... Ah, sadly I missed it. Penguin is out. Safety car is on the track. Nutcrack immediately stopping now. Who will favor the most of that now? I would like to say Optics is one of them. He will now come into the pits and finish the race on mediums. Tirash now out too. I think he just gave up. He just retired in the pits. So we have 3 DNFs now. The good thing about Ninja Penguino is as he is a gaming influencer, he always posts his gaming live streams on Facebook. So I will look it up and know what happened to him afterwards. The Optics stopping the maybe starting tire cheater that will be investigated after the race. He now finishes the race on mediums just as expected. Fatih does so too. That was very clever from Fatih, as he was unsure if he could get over the race on his hards. He opted to now finish it on mediums. Good choice by him. Grimmo has now pitted for hards. I think he could easier have finished the race on mediums than hards. And Optics is back in the lead. Optics back in the lead. I don't want to speculate too much. I don't want to ride this wave longer and more intensely than needed, but I have a really bad feeling about this because of the stuff I mentioned already a few times. The starting tire issues. We will have to discuss that sadly in the background then tonight or tomorrow morning. So right now I will be a little bit silent as we have the safety car on. I will try to look up the Penguino incident right now. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think Ninja already started a new stream. Seems like he is into Battlefield right now, so he needs to, yeah, get away some frustration maybe of the Battlefield now. No, sadly I cannot look it up right now. Every time I want to have a look at the link of the race, I get depicted his, what is it, Battlefield, Warzone, whatever. So cannot look it up right now, sadly. Anyway, as we still have a little bit of time, I will now jump into the part 1, the qualifying, and have a look at the tire situation of Optics safety cars in this lap. Yes, so on the installation lap of our first try of the lobby, Optics was running on softs. This definitely is proof enough, and this will be given to the racing stewards. So, the restart. Anyway, let's focus on the last 12 laps of this race. We are back to green, and Optics has run away from Hamilton. Hamilton, who did not stop in the safety car phase. Hamilton now, of course, with a little bit of disadvantage, as his hard tires will be slower than the mediums around him. Therefore, Optics has already run away by 1.5 seconds after just 3 turns. Fatih is rather close to Hamilton. He is a very comfortable situation, because the one ahead is slower on hards and the one behind is Grimmo. Oh, there's a lot of going on behind him. I thought Grimmo was already overtaken, but attack here between Super Steve and Jake Keeley. Benny Boyer, and there's a lot of stuff going on here in the midfields. Extremist is... Whoa, what does Super Steve do? Oh, this has just not been a late lunge. Super Steve totally forgot about his braking pedal and is wheel to wheel here, bump into the side box of Extremist. No DRS yet, of course. Attack from Super Steve and wheel to wheel into the hairpin. Cut inside from Extremist. But Super Steve stays ahead, at least for the moment. And ahead, shakily behind Grimmo. Grimmo on the slower hards. And behind, Extremist and Super Steve still fighting. Well, this will be the battle groups for the late stage, for the last 10.5 laps in this race. We see battle here for 4th position, Benny, Grimo, Jake Keighley, and behind a battle for 7th. That could maybe, yeah, have some stakes in the battle group ahead too. Extremist and Super Stee. Behind Netcrack on softs, but I doubt that he will be able to go through on this set for the end of the race. Uh-oh, braking issues for Jake Keighley. That brings in Extremist, and Extremist doesn't dare to go on the inside, but Super Stee does and is ahead. Therefore, slipstream action for Extremist against Super Stee, both coming closer to Jake Keighley too. Is this a threesome into the hairpin? No. But Jake Keighley left the door open, so wisely he did that. So as everyone should be finished with the tire strategy, we will have a look at the penalty situation very soon. And wow! You just cannot attack there, and Jake Keighley runs wide. Jake Keighley is definitely in troubles, and now he eventually threw it away totally. I was wondering where Turam is. There he is, Turamba, our leader in the overall standings, very far behind here, only in P9. And he cannot solve it with... Oh, come on, Jake Keighley, what's going on? This is not how we race in RRC. This is, I don't know, dirt. I mean dirt compared to the video game, of course. Yes, Turamba, ninth position. He would get 11 points for this. And... yeah, he would lose some stakes here in the overall standings in the championship battle. He is about to overtake Netcrack. He does. That went very smoothly. He needs to make up a few positions. He cannot hope for pit stops. Oh, didn't get around the hairpin. He's safe still. He cannot hope for pit stops, as the pit stop strategy is done for everyone except Netcrack. And battle for 2nd position. Hamilton lost the position to Fatih, just as I expected, because of the fact that Fatih is running on the faster medium tire. So, in case there are no big mistakes or errors from our drivers, the top 3, the podium, should more or less be safe the ride this way. Probably, but we have seen a lot of stuff going on. Turamba getting the next position back. Now in 7th, would get 13 points for that. But Super Stee inside the DRS window. DRS should be opened. Oh, it isn't. It isn't. No one. Ah, are we still within the 2 laps of the safety car? I don't think so. Anyway, no DRS for anyone here on the long straight. And ahead, Extremist is close to Grimo already. The DRS is open. Does he attack Grimo? Well, not yet. Not yet. Maybe in the 2nd sector. Oh, don't ruin your front wing. Oh, better acceleration for the medium tire. And he pushed ahead of Grimo very easily on the exit of the snail. But that might bring in Grimo on the long straight if he can stay close enough here in this technical sector 2. Yeah, but it doesn't look like, it seems like he already dropped out of the DRS window here before the end of sector 2, and this should be it for Grimo's hopes for P5, while Extremist is even pushing ahead for Benny Boy, and from behind there's already Turamba. So yeah, instead of having a look at, in front for Grimo, he now needs to defend against Turamba, and he will lose this position. Yes, Turamba easily ahead into P6. Yeah, and Turamba is on a mission here. Turamba is trying to limitate the damage of the last safety car phase. He was a big loser of the safety car caused by Penguin. Super Stee here next to Jakey Lee are both running a little bit through the dirt here. Super Stee and Jakey Lee, we saw a lot of running wild for them. So the two right persons have met now on the track. This duel could cause some more front wing salad, front wing winglet salad, carbon salad. Let's stay with them for a moment. The next long straight's coming up. Oh no, let's have a look at Turamba. Turam, Extremist and Benny Boy close, and those guys will open up the rear wing. Benny Boy very early already defending, going on the inside line. Benny Boy is able to defend at least for the moment. Extremist cut back inside. No chance likewise, but the next DRS zone is right here already. Very hard to defend in this turn, because if you're wheel to wheel, in the next turn is in favor of Extremist, and he pulled it through. Right in at the end of the second DRS zone, Extremist pushed ahead of Benny Boy. Oh, Turam little bit running wide here, but not a problem. Did not cause troubles. Benny Boy late attack, late counter. Extremist saw it, let the door open, and they could avoid to kiss on the apex of turn 4. So here's the overview of the penalty situation. Yeah, we've seen Jakey Lee and Super Steve. I mentioned it earlier, they ran in some very unique lanes, I would like to call it. Therefore, those two guys are our reigning penalty kings for the day. I will let this info open. Just search your favorite driver and you will see if he's ranked up or down. Or better acceleration for Turamba against Benny Boy. Both are DRS equipped, so this is just about acceleration. Turam on the inside, he does leave some space for Benny Boy, but he was already gone. And gone is Turam too, at least for the moment. He should still be, or again, be DRS equipped. Yes, he is. Is there a counter from Benny? Not yet, not yet. Turamba has pushed up into P5 now, coming from P9. Jakey Lee, just another penalty, another +3 for him. He's now at 14 seconds. And coming closer to Grimo. Grimo is really swallowed up by everyone, just because he is one of the few hard runners. You can really see, you can visibly see how much faster the mediums are against him on the hards. So for the moment, let's have a look at Turamba on his mission. Extremist troubles on acceleration here. This should work easily for Turamba, already next to him before the DRS zone. The Haas is split and he cruises by easily. And behind we see Super C, Jake Healy, Grimo close. This could be a troubled group. There could be something coming up from those two guys. This is probably the next, not penalty, but the next warning at least against Super C. Oh, some dirt action. Jake Healy and Grimo, did they touch? Wasn't sure about it, but his front wing is still intact. Still hard battling for P7. Grimo is giving everything to defend on the medium runners behind him, and he is running against the dangerous guys. Wow. Hard break here, and maybe Super C crashed into him, and I think he lost the end plate. I think Super C's front wing is damaged, and now they go against each other again. Super C and Jake Healy, the duo of chaos, I would like to call those two guys here today. Plus 12, plus 14 seconds on penalties. Multiple gravel pits tested out for those two guys here. And let's have a look at if Super C needs a new front wing here late in the race. He tries to run through on this wing, but you can see the big gap already to Grimo, and now Jake Healy should easily cruise by him, especially in the again this hard fight against each other from those two drivers. Amazing to watch, especially in the second sector. Jake Healy with an intact front wing, he should be able to run away from Super C by a lot. Sector 2 begins right here. He is in front now, and we will probably be able to see him run away from Super C if he doesn't commit a mistake, of course. Yeah, already 8/10 the gap. He just overtook him 4 turns ago. Yeah, and Super C is even out of the DS zone, so no chance for Super C to be competitive against Jake Healy. Now the question is, can Jake Healy close the gap again to Grimo? But no, forget it. Forget it. Jake Healy has 14 seconds of penalties. No chance for Jake Healy to, in the end, be ahead of Grimo. Grimo's 7th position should be more or less safe if he does not commit a mistake, of course. So the last 2 laps on. Let's have a look at our leader optics under investigation. I don't want to repeat myself again. In P2, Fatih, who is 1.8 seconds behind Optics. Yeah, and Fatih has come closer. Fatih has crawled up to Optics. They both have no penalties, so Fatih would have to beat him on the track. There's just 1.5 laps left, so I think as long as Optics stays safe, stays clear, Fatih will not be able to win this race. And then here we see the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, 5.5 seconds behind Fatih, the top runners, and Fires did not have a penalty, just 4 drivers in the race without penalty, but there are a few with just +3, so that's okay actually, I would like to say, especially on a track where you can cut corners and exceed track limits very well. That is still rather good. Yeah, and right when we speak about the penalties, Jake Healy has piled up another +3 seconds. He is at 17 now, so he will not be a with Antonio Liuzzi. He will not be disqualified in the end, but for the moment, yeah, he will be ranked back a lot. He might even, no, he's not going to be last because Nat Craig is so far behind. But Jake Lee will be ranked back into P10 then. So we are in the last lap, 1.3 seconds the gap of Optics to Fatih. As mentioned, Fatih will not be able to close this gap in these last few turns. Let's see if Fatih might be able to come into the DRS window on the last lap. 1.1, 1.0, the DRS section is right here, but it seems like he is just barely over the 1 second mark. No, wing is closed. Wing is... Where is it? Wing is still closed. Last time the hairpin. Lap 28 is almost over. And that means RRC Optics has won the race, just barely ahead of the reigning champion Fatih. Lewis Hamilton finishes in P3, and then P4 goes to Turan, who was on this mission damage limitation to his championship reign at the moment. Extremist in 5, Benny Boy 6. Grimo brings home P7 after some hard fighting in the end. In 8 then will be Fires, because he didn't have a penalty. Super C's ranked back to P10. Jake Lee, the penalty king, ranked back to P10, yes. Nat Karek is still on the long straight. He still needs 1/3 of the track to bring home. So yeah, that shows us how far he was behind after his last pit stop. So this is the end of the race, the official end of the race. Nat Craig will finish on P11. Usually you get no points for that. In our league you do get points granted, 9 points for Nat Craig. Nat Craig was the last one to finish, and these 9 points for the last position, yeah, he earned them rather easily, I would like to say. The cup here for Optics, but that needs to be discussed in the end. For the moment, he and Ottmar Schaffner will enjoy and celebrate the virtual champagne, of course. So here's the final result after penalties. Optics has won, then Fatih in second, Lewis Hamilton third, Turan finishes fourth, Extremist in 5, Benny Boy P6, P7 for Grimo, P8 Fires, P9 Super Steve, P10 Jake Lee, P11 for Nat Craig, P12 Tirash, who did not finish then, likewise to Ninja Penguino, who is already playing Battlefield. P14 Sotsanpat was the last one, and Krobi would be in P15, but he sadly had some internet connection issues after the qualifying. So this is it for the moment. Thanks for being with us. The Redline Racing Community Monday Night Racing will return exactly next Monday evening. Race is set to start at 8 p.m. of UK time. The stream always starts 5 to 10 minutes earlier. And the next race then we will be at guest in Hungary. That will be a very special track for me. Anyway, thanks for being with us. Have a good evening. Stay safe in these times. And keep racing.